Hello gorgeous Virgos, welcome to my channel. My name is Bella and most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic, and this is your June love horoscope for 2018. So how I do my readings, I don't use cards, I work psychically, so I work with my spirit guides. That's how I do all my work for the last 20 years, and I read the energies and the information that's given to me to kind of give you a general overview in how to navigate the energy that comes up in your love life for your star sign. Okay, so you've got a really interesting month, and I say that because it is interesting because this month's energy for June, and it started in May, but June in particular is like intoxicating, super boosting love energy. If you're single in particular, it feels very, very much that you will it's a very good month to date, basically. I've been telling everybody, so do that. So basically, I'm going to jump right in because I'm getting a lot of information already. It's slightly distracting me, but it's also feeling a little bit complicated considering it is a beautiful bonding month. There's probably going to be some sort of hidden message in this as we go along, but let's just work this out together, shall we? So what my guides are saying here is that you are very different. They're saying you're very different from the energy of somebody else that you are feeling thoughts about or feeling connected to. They're saying that you are like this. You're like opened arms, and you're bright, and you're expressive, and you're giving, and you're just loving. Like you're feeling the energy of this June love bug, like everything around you. All you can do is think about them. They're the first thing you think about in the morning, the last thing you think about at night. You feel like you just want to be entangled with them, and you can't for the life of you figure out why they do not feel, or they maybe not feel is not the right word, why they are not showing or doing the same, basically. So it feels to me that you're having your arms open and they're got their arms like this, and they're very pensive, and they're very way too much deep in thought, and always have to think about their next move when it comes to everything, including love. My guides are saying here, basically, to try not let the difference confuse you, because just because they are more deep in thought about things, or maybe think about the way that they want to show love in a very different expression, let's say, than what you are, doesn't mean that they don't love you. In fact, if anything, they maybe love and feel too deeply or too sensitively, and the way that they manage it is by going within. There is a temptation, my guides are saying here, because it does feel to me, because of some commitments and some dialogue that happens between you, and particularly, let's just say, if that person, because they are coming across as being, taking their time to think about things, maybe has been out of the picture for a little while, that they step back in June. And the temptation when we're so pleased to see somebody, like a long lost friend, is to wrap our arms around them and just never let them go, if that makes sense. So my guides are saying here there's a temptation that the intoxication of this energy in June, that you may be too much for them. They're saying to rein it in, because they are still, even though they're present and they are with you and there's dialogue and there's commitment, they're doing it very carefully. They're doing it with hesitation, but they're doing it just with care, and they may feel a bit overwhelmed by your enthusiasm. So a bit of a balance, because I don't want to say to any of you to be less of what you are, but be mindful that you might be more than what you normally are because of the intoxication, but also because of the way that this person seems to be more than what they have been, whether it's a long-term relationship, whether it's because you're single and you're just so happy to not be single, or whether it's somebody coming back into your world. Because otherwise, my guides are saying here, you will feel bad and you will tell yourselves messages because of the way that they are not acting like you, that you'll start to believe your own hype. You'll start to believe, oh, well, because they're not, as enthusiastic, they can't like me as much as they're leading on to be. And you'll make yourself miserable because they're saying it's not true. They've just got a different way of processing this, a different way of handling it. And it doesn't mean they're always going to be like this, but in this time, there is a little bit of yin and yang going on to your yin, basically. You are definitely the one with the ping in your shoes. Because the thing is, what tends to happen when we start telling ourselves negatives because the other person appears to be more colder than what we are, even though inside they are full of heat, is that we may tell ourselves or answer some questions that could have an impossible answer, and then when they don't give the answer that we're expecting, then it compounds our upsetness, basically. So it feels to me that the energy of June makes you guys feel much more intoxicated than perhaps the person that you're with. And it does not mean, like I said, that they don't feel the same heat. They're just showing it differently. If you can hear that message, and I think the energy kind of ebbs and flows anyway throughout a month, but if you can hear that message, you'll find yourself managing your emotions better through what you perceive as disappointment when it's not actually disappointment. There is an ask of you from the universe to focus on the positive, that there is dialogue, there is words of commitment, there is reconnection, there is all of these things. Perhaps it's not exactly the way that you thought it would be, but it is the start of it. And so that's where the positivity needs to lie. By the third week, you should see more and more of them warming up, perhaps not being so protective, perhaps not being so cautious, and then warming up to being a little bit more in the way that you'd like them to be, to put in more effort. Because I get here that, I don't know how to explain it, but there is this more. My guides are really strongly, because they keep bringing in things about how you will perceive their effort, and it may be again because of what they may have done. So for example, if they've been gone, let's say for a while, and then they come back, you may be expecting them to do much more and feeling like they're not. Again, it's about expectation and perception, because from their perception they will feel like they're just being careful and that they are giving more. Do you see what I mean? As an example, they're saying be careful, because you could again lead into bringing arguments because of your disappointment that they're not as loved up as you want them to be, or as loved up as you are. It's a hard one, because I get here that whoever you are with, whether it's new, old or existing, I'm trying to understand why it is that they are like this, and it feels to me that they just, the meaning of the love for them is so profound that they just want to get it right. Maybe so right that they're so overly a little bit cautious. They have no self-awareness that is coming across as being quiet, and albeit that it's good to vocalise that with people so that they have self-awareness, it feels to me it doesn't change very much. And what they're saying here, you may want to get so entangled with that person emotionally and physically and everything, and may be overbearing for them, that you then become like chewing gum in their hair, which then is hard to kind of pull out. And my guides don't want that for you, not at all. So what they want you to understand from this reading, which I hope I've expressed well, is they just perceive something different from you. Do not be under any illusion that the fire does not burn any brighter for you, because it certainly does. It's just that right now, this is their way of showing it, which is less than you're showing it. It's just different. Some people are internalized and some people are expressive. You guys are coming out as being expressive, they are being internalized. You may interpret their internalization as non-interested, and that's not true. Difficult one, guys, but the positive in it is that this person is communicating, is committing, is there, is present, does have all the fire and all the passion. It's just that maybe it's not being ignited in the same way as this love energy as it does in you. And just for you to be mindful of that, because you'll have such more of a better month. You'll be able to talk more, bond more, get things done, have a deeper understanding than perhaps you would have done if you were trying to make the person run before they can walk. Do you get me? I hope so. Anyway, guys, this has been your reading for June 2018. Do subscribe so you can learn more about what is coming up for you also in July, or perhaps you want to subscribe because I do daily energy reads in a fun way, just so you can get an idea of the energy that is at play every day also too. So I've been Bella, and I will be back next month. Take care. Bye.